Matt, tell me your biggest aha moment that you had in business.
I'll tell you one of the most recent ones that I think I'm most excited about.
Okay.
And that was naming all of our wall clusters. And I know some people are going to listen to this and say like, oh, of course we did. And other people are like, what are you talking about? Well, we started, we really focused on selling large clusters of pictures on the wall, like displays, whether it was like 3, 4, 5 canvases, whatever it was. And the biggest aha moment was naming them as a single product so that people could buy the Stone Tree or the Pebble Creek. They could buy that one product. They didn't have to think about the size of it. I mean, they thought about the overall size if it would fit on their wall, but they didn't need to think about that it was consisted of 2 16 by 20s and 11 by 14. I think they could just order it as one item, and that's just how it came. And they didn't ask like, well, can I break that apart? All that stuff went away when we gave it a name and let it stand on its own. It was an aha moment, because then people could say, I want a Stone Tree, and I know it's $1,300, but I want a Stone Tree, or I want the copper leaf. And that was an aha moment for us when we made our wall clusters into actual products and let them stand on their own.
Love it. I think for us, an aha moment that we had was, I think when we stopped narrowing down a lot in our sales room, our sales went way up. And people would think that that's counterintuitive, because they think that they need to narrow down further and further and further to help people get clarity.
Right.
But in actuality, what was happening is, let's say that our clients were, they narrowed down in the first swoop to, 30 images, and then we'd be like, you know what, let's look at all these together, and we'll keep narrowing down further and further. Right. Well, then they would leave thinking that they only had 8 that they liked.
Yeah.
When in actuality, they had 30.
Yeah.
But we made them narrow it down.
Right.
So it was actually a disservice to us. So not letting them narrow down more than the first swoop to get rid of ones that they absolutely didn't like, and then having products that allow them to get a lot of images. So, having products that would accommodate all those.
30 images.
Right, exactly. The image boxes and albums.
Right.
And then once we say, you know what, you have 30 that you love, and typically when people have this many, they're going to do either an image box or an album. You know, which one do you love?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my gosh, I love the album. Perfect. Okay,
Right.
so we'll put all these in an album for you. Let's work on your walls. And now we can get a little more ruthless.
Right.
So that has really helped, because our clients, don't feel that dread of getting rid of images that they love,
Right.
and they still leave feeling like they, had so many that they couldn't even pick.
Right, exactly. I want to add on that. I'll give like a bonus, because one of the other aha moments for us that we're currently working through, like that we figured out like aha like a couple months ago, and we're still trying to figure out how it works in our system, but basically removing all the duplicates before the clients, because I think clients can't write a check based on some confusion. So if they're confused in any way, they don't feel comfortable writing a check and paying for it. So if you have an issue with people saying, well, can I check with my husband, or different things where they're not basically paying in full, they're not confident with their decision. One of the biggest things that was creating that in our studio is that we had duplicates of very similar images. So like we'd have 2 images, and the head would be tilted one way and the head would be tilted the other way. Well, then what they'd want to do is they'd want to compare those 2 images to decide which one they like better. And sometimes they couldn't necessarily decide, and all of a sudden confusion was creeping into the sales room. And then once they're just a little bit confused, they're like, okay, I need time to think about this, to work through my confusion. I'm not going to do it in front of you. So can I talk to my husband, or I'm going to go home and think about this and stuff. And then they go home and make decisions based off of price and things that aren't necessarily what's best for their house and their family. But I think that was really an aha moment when we started getting rid of duplicates.
That's
So now with our clients, like our seniors, we throw 30 to 40 truly unique images, and there's no confusion. Plus the keepers is a much higher percentage, and we're selling more albums and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant.